So yeah, I'll just start with explaining why we wanted to do this. Well, from the the name itself says it already. We wanted to really use this opportunity to highlight women in the space. Unfortunately, women are still very underrepresented, and yeah, that's why we just want to allow women the opportunity to share their experiences and highlight their projects or whatever they want to share with us. And we thought would be really interesting to host this with the three of us because each of us has a really different perspective on the space, and that's why we thought it would create like a nice dialogue. And we'll start with some introductions. So, Cheetah, could you start out with saying something about yourself?
Yeah, so hi, I'm NFT Cheetah. I'm a full-time college student and I got into NFTs about 4 months ago with Llama, and I've been absolutely hooked ever since. So I have my own Discord called the Cheetah Girls. It's kind of similar to this, but it's obviously a compact Discord. It's for bringing in women in the NFT space and the crypto space and bring them all together so we can all learn from each other on all walks of life. You'll find me most active on Twitter, analyzing NFT projects, and that's my short little introduction. So, Kduck, do you want to take it over?
Yeah, so I'm a part of Non-Fungible Network. Shout out, I think they're listening. It's just, it actually started with just some friends hanging out in a Discord. We were just hanging out, kind of giving each other alpha, helping each other out, questions we had, and one day we were just like, we have so much good content and so much room in this space, so we're kind of like, let's extend this content to others. And so the space is rapidly growing, so we saw the need to bring good quality content to people. So it's kind of what we're set out to do. So far we have, I think, wow, it's like 5 or 6 podcasts now coming out of the network, and we have weekly, monthly newsletters, articles that people write. We have graphics that we post on our Twitter. So we just try to bring content. So we just try to find people that are like-minded and want to help others in this space, whether it's people that are new to the space or people that have been here and maybe are branching out to different aspects or something like that. So I actually have my own podcast that developed through the network, and it's called Non-Fungible Queens. I have a co-host. I think she's in here. Hill, what's up? So Hill and I met through Non-Fungible, and so we are not the only women in Non-Fungible, but we are one of the few. And so I just got this idea one day. I was like, why don't we just set out to tell women's stories? Like, it doesn't have to be anything crazy, just kind of highlight them, tell about what they're doing in this space and how they're doing it. And I asked Hill, I was like, oh, would you want to do this? And she's like, yeah, that sounds awesome. So we are fairly new to it, but we just reach out to a new woman each week and chat with them. We usually talk about how they got started in this space. We talk about what they're working on, their tips and tricks and advice. So just kind of a fun outlet and a fun little community that we want to build within this space that we already think is super great. So we know that women are obviously underrepresented. That's, if you go into a Discord, you can usually tell that pretty quickly. So it's just more about bringing awareness and highlighting the people that are here and the people that are really pioneers in this space.
Yeah, and our podcast is really a lot of fun to listen to, and you have great guests, so I would really recommend everybody to check it out.
Yeah, and one thing that's so awesome too is the reaction that I've had to starting it. From men and women, everyone's been so supportive and just saying how awesome it is. Everyone that I've reached out to be a potential guest, they've been so excited and willing to come on. So yeah, that's been really great as well, and really awesome to see. Just validating, my belief in this space even more.
Yeah, for sure. And I see many sloths here, so I think most people know who I am. but I'll introduce myself. My name is Iris, and I'm the leader and artist behind Sloths NFT. And well, since starting this project, most of my time just goes into like building and managing the Lucky Sloths. But right now, specifically, I'm putting a lot of time in creating art for our next mint, which I'm really excited about because that's what I love to do. Like, I've loved art my whole life, and I actually started an Etsy shop 3 years ago in the hope of being able to create something for myself with my art. And it's been fairly successful, but not enough to like live off of. But I always loved it. It was a lot of fun. I learned a lot, and I made my own original designs, and I sold products with my designs on it. And and now I made the Lucky Sloths, and it's the space has just been so amazing and welcoming, and it's a great opportunity for artists. And well, apart from that, I'm studying right now. I'm studying to get my master's degree in philosophy, and I love animals, I love nature, and that's something I also want to have an impact on in the space, or in the real world with what I'm doing in the space to help animals and help nature. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And right now I want to invite any other person up here that wants to say something, share their experience, chat with us, tell us whatever you want. And I think
I have a
Chubby
question.
Puppies.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I have a question for Cheetah. I was wondering why you got the idea to start your Discord server. I know it's been around for a little bit, and it's pretty unique and a pretty cool idea. So I just wanted to hear about why you wanted to start that.
Well, I was really inspired by obviously Llama's Discord because I was really active in that community, and I was like, well, a lot of people refer to me as Sir in here. Like, not a lot of people really assume there's women in the space. So I was like, what if I just made a server like dedicated to women, and helping women and showing them that like we're in this space, because we are in this space. We're just not seen. A lot of people get called, hey bro, hey boss, hey sir, which I don't know. It's just like we really need to be represented in here and known. Like we're here too. So I thought just making that server.
Yeah. And it's the general assumption, like they definitely just like automatically be like, oh hey bro, what's up? And it's like, I know, like some people always correct, and I'm always just like, it doesn't bother me that much, but it definitely does happen most of the time.
Yeah, I feel like it happens a lot just because they don't really, I guess, assume that we're here. But I actually have seen so many women in this space. It's actually crazy. Like, it's really nice to see so many women, and honestly, just seeing them all start their own projects. They're all artists, or they're looking to invest. It's just all walks of life and everything that really amazes me.
Yeah, for sure. I'll never forget like the day that we were still minting, and the sloths were like selling like crazy. People didn't know I was a woman in the beginning, and a lot of people wanted us to stop the mint sooner. And most people asked politely, but every now and then somebody would say, stop the mint, you dick. And after they knew I was a woman, it would just change to stop the mint, you bitch. That's all that changed in the beginning. But it's people always assume, like, it's just the default that they assume that you're a man. And yeah, that's sadly the way it is. But there are many women here. And luckily, we always also see like an increase of female PFPs, because I know in the beginning, like if you were in the space in August, I think that was kind of uncommon still. But it's getting more and more common. So I really like that. But yeah, I was also wondering, like, how did you actually get into NFTs?
Yeah, so I got in through a friend. He has an ape. And when apes were minting, he was like, oh, well, even before then, he was like, oh, like you should check these out. And then, I just never really did. And I don't know what changed my mind, but one day I just decided to look into it. And then ever since then, I was hooked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What about you, Cheetah?
Well, so it was 4 months ago. I was chilling with Llama, and he was like, I just aped into this. I bought this for $70,000. I was like, what are you talking about? Like, I was like, are you insane? Like, what are you buying these JPEGs for? So I start like, looking over my shoulder because he's right next to me, and I'm like, like this looks kind of interesting. So one day when he was making his Twitter account, NFTLlama, I was like, I'm gonna make one with you, and I'm gonna start learning because I want to spend more time with him, essentially. So getting to spend time with him was like,
So
I'm
cute.
just gonna learn. Yeah, I'm just gonna learn what he's doing, so I can join in with him. So then, I made NFT Cheetah, and obviously I didn't know what the heck was going on, so I kind of just posted memes for the most part. And then after a while, I just started learning more and more about this space, and then I got like immediately hooked, not just for like the art, but like for the community.
So I think it's something like unique that you have being tied to Llama, and I know like we've chatted about this a bit, but how has your experience been, being tied to him? And I know I'm assuming people know now that you're in a relationship with him. So do people just say, "Oh, like Llama's girlfriend," or is that like the how you're treated?
Yeah, it's funny you say that because when I get referred to in Discords, it's typically like because he has so much like stuff around his name because he's like an influencer in this space. It's kind of like, oh my god, not cheetahs, Llama's fiance is aped into this, or Llama's fiance has one of ours. Like it's not like ever referred to me as like, oh, Cheetah bought this. It's more like, oh, NFTLlama's fiance bought this.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's like you don't have a name, you're just Llama's fiance.
Exactly.
Which is it's like crazy to think about that, that stigma. Like I really wonder if roles were reversed, if that would be the same thing. Like if they would say if you were Llama, they would say Llama's fiance in reverse. But I don't know. I guess that's something to ponder.
Yeah, I wonder that too a lot of the time. I mean, it has gotten better, but I still get referred to a lot as NFTLlama's fiance. Can you or talk to Llama for me? Or,
yeah.
Like it's never for me. It's always for, hey, can you message Llama for me? He's not responding, and I'm like, okay, I'll go talk to him.
I'm sitting right next to him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's interesting though. But I think it's pretty cool that just listening to all of our introductions, I think like we're all setting out to do similar things in our own way, and so it is pretty cool. Like Iris said, us coming together, we have such a perspective. Like I have no perspective on the influencer side of it, but obviously you deal with that daily, so it's pretty interesting.
Hi. So I got into NFTs through my roommates, actually. We're actually here together right now. And so we just launched our social media for Chubby Puppies today. The NFT is called Chubby Puppies, and it should be launching in mid-December. Kind of just wanted to plug that in there. Am I missing any other details?
No, you're good.
If you want to, you can tell us a little bit more about your project. Like, what are you planning to do? What is the thought behind your project?
So, I guess to give like a little bit of, a lot of things just came into my head at once. So I'm just trying to figure out which to actually respond with. Basically, it's gonna be about 6,000 different chubby puppies with unique personalities as well as traits. Can I mention the Twitter thing?
Yeah.
A cool thing that we're trying to do is that each of the puppies will have a unique personality, and through AI, we would actually be able to have them tweet back at you. So let's say you kind of give one of your chubby pup, if you buy a chubby puppy, if you give them, let's say, a treat, then that chubby puppy can tweet back at you and say thanks, but possibly in a unique way that's specific to their personality.
And that sounds really cool. I think I haven't heard that before, that idea. So yeah, I will definitely check out your project.
Yes, they're super cute. We have a great artist. She's been doing a fantastic job, and honestly, it became a passion project for her. So she's honestly just been having a lot of fun, and so we've also been having a lot of fun working with her.
So what's kind of the role that you'll be playing in the project?
I've been primarily just helping with design, so just kind of giving some advice on website design. Since we already have an artist that's been making the NFT art itself, so kind of just assisting there. Since I also live with them, the occasional emotional support.
Also,
yeah.
I should also mention she's a really good singer, so we've been working on some jingles to maximize her singing abilities.
That's cool. I'm sure Iris can definitely relate to the emotional support. I don't have my own project, but I'm sure she can give you all the tips and tricks of how to get through that.
It's just lots of love and lots of cookies.
Yep.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy though. It can be kind of crazy. I know a lot of project leaders struggle with like the stress and the pressure of it all, and it's usually unexpected and everything is new. And yeah, so I know it can be a lot for some people when there's just like this overnight kind of fame or something. I guess that's not completely the right word, but it's just a completely new world that opens up to you and your whole life changes. But it's in a good way though. Like at least I've been really enjoying the ride until so far. And I continue, I plan to continue to be here and to build. And yeah, I'm just in love with the space. So yeah, just stoked about it.
Yeah, for sure. Thank y'all so much for providing this space. We'll check y'all out on the Discord.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for coming on, and definitely keep us updated about the project. We'd love to see where it goes.
For sure, Z's.
So Iris, I had a question for you, kind of going off that topic. We talked about running the project, and I think, partly the reason it seems so crazy is because, everyone in the community, in the Discord, wants something from you. So I guess if you could give some advice to, maybe someone like them that's getting ready to start their project up, like what would you tell them that you wish someone had told you when you were starting?
Yeah, well, two things. Like the first thing is like, don't, if you do get hate occasionally, just don't let it get to you. And secondly, it is okay to step away from your computer sometimes, because I at least feel like a really big sense of responsibility for the project and whatever happens with it, and the people in it, and I want to take good care of everybody, but it's okay to take care of yourself too. Actually, you'll be stronger if you do that. You'll be able to provide more to your community if you do that. So yeah, definitely do that and enjoy the ride, especially that. Like if you have a project and it blows up, it's such a once in a lifetime opportunity. So just those things can be stressful, but you should always remember that you should enjoy it, and it is really enjoyable. And there are so many great people. I've met so many great people in this space, and it's like, how long has it been? Less than 3 months, and I feel like I've just had so many adventures already, just so many things that I couldn't have imagined would happen to me like 4 months ago even. So yeah, I mean, and if anybody does struggle with this and wants to talk to somebody, my DMs are always open. So yeah, anybody can reach out and talk to me. And a lot of people in my community are also just really helpful and want to help people out. So yeah, that's something I also want to do, to just provide that space to other people here.
Yeah, I think that's important, and I think I don't want to talk for Cheetah, but I know like I feel the same way. So I'm sure she does too. All three of us, that's the point that we want to bring this for you guys. So anyone ever, my DMs are open. But I think it kind of brings up a good point, and something that I usually talk to our podcast guests about, and something that I'm still trying to figure out myself is how do you balance this crazy NFT life and you're in real life. So many people have other things going on, careers, work, family. It's something it's just like, trying to hold all the plates up and not let any of them fall is at least what I feel like most days. So if anyone has any insight on that, I'd love to hear that as well.
Yeah, for sure. I'll let Jess speak just after I say something shortly about that, because like I do feel like I have 2 work days now. Like during the morning and afternoon, I study for my master's degree, and in the evening until the moment I go to sleep, I work on the project. But I mean, that maybe sounds worse than it really is, because it's like everything that I do gives me energy. So I'm always happy to do it, and it doesn't feel like work. So yeah, that's just what I want to say. And I see both Lilu and Jess would like to say something. I think Jess was first. So yeah, did you want to say something?
Hi, thanks for doing this. This is so interesting and informative. So I'm brand new to this space. And I was wondering, I have so many ideas. I have a really long career in retail and marketing. And so it feels really weird to be like a senior level in one aspect of my life and have no idea what the hell is going on in this space. So like, what would you say to someone getting started? What's the path of least resistance? What's an easy, like low lift project where you can like cut your teeth? It's low stakes, but you'll learn a lot.
Well, I can tell you, for advice for being new in the NFT space is definitely look into the tools that are provided, like IC tools, Crypto Slam. You always want to learn about volume and figure out when projects are going to take off and when they're going to sell off. So for me, it was a very long time till I actually started making money from NFTs. And even then, it's like I still love my NFTs for the art. But in this space, it's a really fast trend. But what you would probably want to start with is freedom mints, because those are the least, I guess you could say, risky in a sense, because they're freedom mints, they're just gas. But definitely check out Twitter, check out projects that people are hyped about. And that's how I find a lot of projects that I'm in. I go to Twitter, I search the project that I'm looking into. I see how much engagement they're getting, how much people are talking about them. And then I see when's whitelist, how much whitelist spots. I just see the community, because the community is really what drives a project. The devs do as well, but it's really the community that's going to bring out bring in more people, in a sense, like through invite contests or telling their friends, oh, buy into this project, because that's how I find a lot of projects. I find them through Twitter, like people saying, oh, buy into this project's great, this volume. A lot of it has to do with analytics if you're not going to mint stuff. So what I do if a project just minted is I never FOMO into something unless I for sure know it's going to pump. But I know it's going to sell off, so I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait like 20 days, and then I'm going to see if it pumps or if I'm going to see if it accumulates. So typically I want to see accumulation, and I want to see a stable like mark at, say, like 0.1 ETH. Sorry, I'm kind of rambling, but this is kind of how I look at projects. I see if it stabilizes, and then I see if it has a small pump, and then I wait again. And then I see if it pumps again, and typically by that second pump, I kind of assume, all right, so I can buy in when it sells off again, and then it's probably going to pump again. So that's kind of just how I look at projects, and I hope that kind of helps a little bit.
So it's like the stock market. You're just kind of like following a trend for about 20 days to see when it's going up and down, and then you'll buy on the down knowing that it's had like a steady up and down rhythm for the past 20 days. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, which I also check in on their Discord and their Twitter. I like to see if they're bringing any utility or if they're bringing new news, because news is what brings pumps a lot of the time. So that time when Gary Vee bought into Women and Weapons, it pumped to like 0.3 when it was like 0.08. So it's a lot of news that pumps projects, and you got to really just like focus and do your research and all of that.
Yeah, I agree. I think you're definitely more disciplined than I am. Definitely not FOMOing in. That's a really good tip. FOMO is like a huge thing in this space, at least for me. I feel like it takes a lot of discipline to not have FOMO, and that's where it could definitely come in handy. But Cheetah's definitely more the analytics side. But she had a good point. Checking in on the Discord and Twitter, that was going to be my recommendation. Is I always check out the community. You know, Discord is a huge thing. Just join as many Discords as you can, talk to people, network, make friends. I jokingly tweeted out one time, my tip for this space would be to find your friends that you can always tag in all the giveaways. And it was half joking, half not, because just finding your people can help tremendously. Finding my friends through non-fungible network, it's been great. So I would definitely recommend just networking and putting yourself out there. It's big key. I think Lulu's had their hand up for a little bit if you want to speak.
Thanks. Yeah, no, so many things have gone by since I put my hand up. So there's a lot that I would want to respond to.
I apologize. We're all talkers up here.
Oh, no. It's all like really good info. I mean, Cheetah, definitely, you speak about this in a much more kind of educated way. Like this, for me, I got into it from my boyfriend. I had no idea what was going on, what was happening. It's been a whirlwind and a lot of fun, but like he and I had a lot of passion for art. Like we're just really big art advocates and supporters, and that's kind of how we fell into this more than anything else. So for us, it started with the art, and then the investment aspect of it became very real in such a short amount of time over this last year. I'm sure other people would disagree with me who've been in this way longer. Snap Boogie, I think you've been around for a few years. So like, it's like, this is still incredibly new for me. I'm still very, very, very much getting my feet wet. I have not made any money from doing this flipping. Like, I'm not here to flip. I'm not here to like find something that is just going to be a money grab and run. That's just not my interest in it. So I think there are different reasons why people are here. And there are very different ways to kind of go about it without having to get into the hype and FOMOing into projects and stuff like that, because it definitely is a huge distraction from what my original aim and goal was to be in this space. And yeah, the idea of being able to make money from this stuff, sure, of course that's exciting. And then like seeing how much money you can make doing this is incredibly exciting, but I don't know what I'm doing with that. I don't know how to follow the trends like that kind of thing. Like it, and I've only really been in this space for a few months. So, even going by Cheetahs, following something for 20 days, I'm just now kind of trying to find a path for myself that I'm working on. So, it's this, I'm so glad that you guys are doing this, because like I literally have not found a safe space to be able to like ask these questions. It's really been more about finding people that I can actually trust in this space, because due to how many projects there are out there and how many different goals there are from people, whether it's just to make money really fast, it can be a huge upset where you get very excited about a project and then get into it and then it just completely falls apart and everybody ran off with the money and you're kind of just left with, something you either got into because you thought it was going to flip, or something that you really like and you got into it for the art and you're happy no matter what. So I would rather be the person who also is going to end up with something that I like looking at and enjoying and supporting by an artist, rather than just thinking like, okay, am I going to make money from this or not? And I'm blabbing a lot. I know JPEG has been raising their hand for quite a while. So the other thing I wanted to bring up was, I hope we can do these spaces way more often. Just the other day, it was a huge reminder to me why I hate going into other spaces on Twitter, because like literally it was like I opened up this space. It sounded like they were having fun. Everyone's giggling, joking around. There were a couple of girls with their profile pictures in there. And immediately I hear, within a minute of being in the space, oh, hey, can I fuck you? And like, it was just like such a huge turnoff. And I just left. So like, it's so aggravating to have that and then have to try and find like safety of just normal people who are here with the same interests. So take your time and really allow yourself to dig your heels in and talk to people and get to know them. Discord has been absolutely helpful for that. And Twitter has been very real, but I think the Discord's been way more helpful. I think Twitter's been kind of like a platform that you can take by building those relationships on Discord and then running with them on Twitter, like for tagging on those project tweets and stuff that Kduck was talking about. So I'll leave it at that for now. Thanks, guys.
I'm going to jump in. I just want to say, first of all, I'm so sorry that has happened to you or to anyone, because that's really not okay. And that's frustrating. It definitely turns people away from the space. But I had a question for Iris, or really for anyone who wants to answer. But yeah, my name is Sam. My project that you're seeing in my profile picture, it's called Dead Inside Skeletons. It's very small right now. I'm the artist and the creator, I guess. So check it out if you want. But my question for you guys is, as someone who's just starting off with their project in this space, how were you really able to get like a team behind you? Not only like people in the community who would, advocate for your project and lead in that sense, but also like developers or just promoters and people who wanted to help you out.
For me, everything grew kind of organically from the moment that we minted out. I know in many cases people gather a team beforehand. A lot of people start out in the space usually by just being like a consumer themselves, and they create relationships like that, and they find people they can start a project with, so they already have like a developer, artist, marketing person, all those roles. I just started with my boyfriend, and then when we sold out, we built an amazing community. Everybody was super helpful, and a lot of it, as is emphasized a lot in the space, and it's really true, a lot of it is carried by the community. The community is where the power of a project lies, and that's why I'm so happy with the Sloths, because I really feel like our community is super strong and super kind and helpful. And yeah, I feel like I'm just blessed that I met all these people and that they wanted to help me out. But it's also daring to reach out and ask people for help. That's also a part of it, putting yourself out there like you are doing now. So I think what you're doing is great, and if you need help, definitely send me a DM and maybe I can help you out as well. I think your art is super cool, so I'm glad you're here.
Oh, that means so much. Thank you. Everyone that is in this space has been so awesome. I actually, came upon this chat via the Non-Fungible Queens podcast. So I'm just kind of getting started with all of these new friends. So thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, stay tuned. Sam may or may not be our guest this week on Queens. Oh yeah, but
no spoilers though. no spoilers.
I'm gonna hop off, but thank you guys so much. This was so helpful, and I can't wait to attend another one. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for joining.
Take care.
Thank you for joining.
I didn't know if you had any advice for Sam Cheetah, as far as you kind of work more on the back end of things. If you had any input on that.
Well, with the input that I have, being a part of kind of NFTLlama's whole project and essence and stuff, I was more of the organizer, like creating the Discords, creating the Twitters, getting out like marketing and all that. So mostly my part in it was just learning how to market, learning how to get your project out there by doing giveaways, whitelist spots, like there's more demand when you have whitelist spots. Showing off the art, like sneak peeks, all that, doing invite contests, doing leveling up contests. So if you level up to level 10 by the end of the week, you get a whitelist spot. So it makes people more engaged and brings them more to your project. And if they're really interested in your project, they're gonna bring their friends along too and be like, hey, you need to get whitelist, you need to talk in this chat for a week straight, you know? And it brings your community together because there's so many people talking and hyped up for this project. And also having an organized Discord really helps a lot too. And having adding value to your Discord, like having like a mental health chat, or having like just a safe space where people can go, having an informational chat, having NFT safety chat, just bringing in a lot of utility into your Discord so that they come back and want to just talk in there, if that makes sense.
So I don't know if you have any recommendations for someone that has never built a Discord server. I know that you can build one in like an hour, which is insane, but you know, for someone that's just starting out with their project maybe and they're not familiar with Discord, do you have any recommendations on like resources they could use to, you know, maybe find out some more information on building that out?
I mean, they can always DM me as well, because sometimes it can get a little bit confusing, especially when you add bots and have all these permissions that you have to give. Like, you have to learn how to give out roles, how to set up bots, how to make a verification system. It's really confusing, but I would definitely say when you're adding bots, to definitely like read the tutorials, because sometimes I wouldn't, and I'd be like so confused trying to set up a verification bot. I'm like, how do I do this? And I remember there was this whole thing with one of Llama's servers. I didn't set up the verification system right, and it messed up a lot, and I had to fix that real quick. So I would definitely say watching tutorials and learning all of that, and then also just you can DM me as well if you ever have any issues or problems with Discord or just anything that you need help with, because I'm pretty good with that, I think.
Yeah, and one thing I want to mention that I think is really cool, we have the link to our Discord that Cheetah built, the Web3Women. She also has a really cool channel, NFT Terms. So actually, no spoilers for Queens, but Sam, who was the guest, we were talking about all the lingo that is involved in this space and how that can be, you know, a deterrent for newcomers in the space. You know, they might be afraid to ask, you know, about, oh, what does that mean, or embarrassed. So she has a really cool channel where she has, like, you know, the NFT terms and lingos and explanations for those. So I think that's also another really cool and great resource. So we have the Discord linked up at the top if you want to join, and send the Discord to your friends as well. Anyone that, you know, might want to join but doesn't want to ask the hard questions or whatever, we're always here for all that.
Well, I have a question for you, Kduck, if that's all right.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask you, what advice would you give someone who's new to NFTs in the consumer sense?
Who I think should definitely do your research and take it slow. Like when you hop in, you know, we talked about the FOMO and how much of that there is in this space, and I think, you know, from the consumer standpoint, that's mostly where it's driven the most. And so, you know, you'll hop in and you'll see 10 projects launching in a day. But I think, you know, it's definitely the good step would be to definitely do your own research. So that's, you know, a term that's used a lot. And, you know, do that by the things that you talked about, you know, checking out the Twitter, Discord, you know, watching the charts and stuff if you're into that as well. But I think it's, you know, really just, you know, I guess if you're in this space, it doesn't really apply, but because you're already here, but take the chance. I think that's the biggest thing I can say is, you know, don't close off to anything. You know, always look into it, do your due diligence, definitely don't FOMO, but just be open to all of it. I think that's how most of us got here, is being open to things and open to new things and open to learning new things. And I think, you know, personally myself, I think sometimes I'll shy away because I'm like, it's easier if I just stay in my lane and keep doing what I'm doing. But instead of really challenging myself to learn new things and go beyond and pushing myself, that's the harder thing to do. And so I think that would definitely be probably my advice would be to, be open and, explore all of it.
Yeah, I would like to add on just real quick to yours. I would definitely also add on to not put your eggs in all in one basket, because that is just the worst thing to do. Like, because you just don't know what's gonna happen with projects. Sometimes they can get hacked. There can be FUD. Like, just overnight, your project can just die off, especially with newer projects, and you don't know if they're stable. I'm not talking about like Bored Ape. I'm not talking about like CryptoPunks. Those aren't just gonna die. I'm talking about like the newer projects. Don't just ape in all your money into one project and expect to make 5 ETH by the end of the night, because sometimes it's not gonna end up like that, and you're just gonna lose out on a lot of money, and then you don't have any other like liquidity or any other NFT projects that you're in.
Yeah, and then at the same time, I told myself, there's a couple times that I've only bought one thing or minted one thing out of the project, and then I'm like, now it's like a huge pump, and I'd like to take some gains, but I don't want to be out of the community. So on the other side of that, I always tell myself, buy more than one, but it's personal to each person and their circumstances, their liquidity. So it's really hard to, I think, in my opinion, to say that. I mean, that's why I always say not financial advice, because every situation and every person is different. So it is really hard to give someone financial advice anyways, in my opinion. I think, Lulu, you have your hand up.
Yeah, thank you. In terms of doing your own research, yes, that has been a huge thing everyone's been saying. My issue is knowing how to do that research, which sounds kind of dumb, but literally, it's like I'll try and do that. I will, if I see a project that I'm excited about, I'll go to the webpage. I'll try and look at as much information as possible. I'll join the Discord. And there's definitely been a few times where it's you find out kind of later on, there's some aspects to this, or you're finding out to the artistry that's oh, I really don't want to be a part of that. Or, you find out that the people who are running it are being a little sketchy. And literally someone had to kind of walk me through how to quote unquote do my research. I asked him okay, this is a particular project that I'm really interested in, but it's getting a little expensive. I want to make sure it's going to be worth my while. How do I make sure, it's legit? It's not going to go anywhere for a minute. Especially if it's a project that's been passed from one hand to another. So, doing that, it's looking at the wallets, it's looking at tracking the money. As hilarious as that is, that we say putting that towards politics, I kind of feel like you have to learn how to track the money in this world in order for you to really get a good sense of safety. And it was really interesting. I started doing my own little sleuthing with this on a project. And sure enough, it was wait, why is there so much money in this wallet? And there's this other wallet it's connected to that has all of these ins or out transactions. And sure enough, it was oh, this is a wallet that's been connected to a phishing scam. So, there's so many little itty bitty details that can really kind of get broken into in terms of doing your own research. And I'm wondering if you guys can kind of help me understand, if I'm looking at projects and I'm not seeing the list of the creators, the project mods, any of that kind of stuff, where do I go? What do I look at? How do I follow this outside of just tracking the money? How do I make sure this is a legit group of people that isn't just going to end up doing a rug pull later or turning on the artist later or, you know, whatever their agenda may be, that's obviously not going to be transparent on the website and trying to get people hyped about the project?
Well, typically, if there's like any suspicion from me, if I like suspect something's going on behind the scenes, I typically wait out the whole minting process of it and wait to see what happens with the project. Because some of these projects, I actually recently got into a whole like rug pull. I've been in a rug pull before, so I learned not to be the first to mint. Because what happens is when you're the first to mint, you're the one who's going to get screwed over if something bad happens. Yes, you might have the chance of winning huge gains, but there's also the risk of, if you mint in the first 10 minutes, you could get rug pulled very easily rather than waiting 2 hours to see if there's any FUD around the project. Because, I mean, with the whole Kong game thing, and I'm not trying to diss it or anything, but they showed us 64 times 64 pixel art and we got 32 times 32, so it was this whole like FUD, and then they copied their contracts, so obviously I sold for a loss. So that was bad on my part. I mean, I should have waited like 2 hours to see, you know, after the project minted, hey, okay, now it's good to buy in because, you know, it's a solid project because I can mint now, rather than going in 2 minutes into the minting session when their website was down, you know what I mean, doing it from the contract. So that's a mistake that I would not advise to do.
Yeah, just something that I feel like, I'm a project owner, of course, so for me it's the perspective is a little different, but I see a lot of projects, you know, I kind of know how it works, and I always try to be as transparent and honest to my holders as I can be, but I know that one thing that a lot of people do is, you know, just to create hype because hype will create a pump, etc. But always ask yourself what is behind their words. And I think that's, yeah, to do your own research. I think you explained it well, Lilu. Like you can say that, but you still don't know how exactly to do that. And I think what you said was tracking the wallet. That's one good thing to do because, yeah, that can be a red flag if the project is kind of shady around their wallet. You know, that will say something about their motives. And yeah, just, you know, if people are saying we're going to do XYZ, just try to ask yourself, you know, is that feasible? And what am I seeing that, you know, that they're actually doing that? Or, you know, have these people lived up to their promises? And they can say, you know, like 4 months from now, we're going to have this massive utility, but does it make sense with the way their project is looking at that moment? Like, you know, with the Sloths, I never make false promises. And I know some, unfortunately, that does happen in the space, just because they want to create hype for their project. They will promise things that they can't deliver on. And that's really unfortunate. And that it makes me angry sometimes because, you know, just people who are there because they want to make their lives better, probably by, you know, getting some gains, that, yeah, they're abusing their hope. And that's really unfortunate. So yeah, unfortunately, I would have to say, like, trust your own judgment and you know, not that of others. If somebody DMs you like, buy this because it's a good investment, like that's usually a red flag. Just things like that, you know, like listen to your own voice and not necessarily to that of others, and just take a look around and don't react instantly on emotion if you see there's a lot of hype. You know, sometimes it can work out well, of course, but you don't want to get stuck in like a pump and dump either. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Like, you know, with the Sloths, I'm here for the long term. We are really focused on just building a long-term brand, and we're so confident about our art and our community and just the idea that we have behind it. So we know that, you know, whatever happens, we'll ride it out and we'll be here and we'll still be building. And I feel like I have that sense of trust with the community. Everybody's always really, you know, confident in the project, and that's something you just need to earn. That's not something that can come like from the start of the mint. I think it's difficult unless somebody's really established in the space already. That's just hard to tell beforehand, you know. And even then, I think it has happened that people were disappointed because they expected more from, an influencer or somebody that was already established in the space. So I think it will always be, it can be tricky. Yeah.
I think the general consensus is we're all trying to figure it out, and we're all here, but no one knows the magic answer, and I think that's what's so cool is everyone always says it, it's cliche, but we are so early, and so we get to be the ones that kind of decide how it should be in the future of this space. So I think that's also a really cool aspect of what's going on right now. All the artists, all the projects, they're setting precedents for projects to come, and NFTs for hundreds of years down the line. So that's very cool to me to be a part of.
Yeah, for sure. I think he left now, but Good Things, aka Sloth Boogie, always talks about how we're so early in the space, and how if you've been in crypto itself for a longer period of time, you will know that there are just periods of optimism and periods of pessimism. But on the longer term, when you look at how things have evolved, it's just incredibly rewarding to be into crypto at all. And I think something similar will happen for NFTs. And the more mainstream they become, I'm just confident that things will be awesome. And I think the people that will work and build in the meantime and have this confidence will just be rewarded for their perseverance. And that's just what I think. We're still early, exactly like you said.
Yeah, and I think there's the cool part too is there's space for everyone. There's so many different roles, so many different jobs. Like even us three, we're very different in our space, in this space. We're all three different. We have different backgrounds, but there's space for everyone, and that's something that's pretty cool too. It doesn't have to be competition. It doesn't have to be this person against this person. I think at least for me, I just want to have fun and do it all together. So I think that's another very cool aspect of it.
Yeah, for sure. I think actually if people ask me like what do you like most about the NFT space, it's that before I got into NFTs, I just had this, I don't know, kind of life-changing insight that it's almost like if people do better, you do better as well. Like in some sense we're all connected, and what's good for other people is good for you, and one thing will lift everybody up. And I don't know, I just had this kind of thought in general about life, and then I get into the NFT space, and it's just really really clear in the NFT space, because if one person in a specific community has a high sale or is doing well, then that lifts the entire community up. And because one project is doing well, that creates opportunities for other projects. And it's everybody wins when somebody wins, and that's what I really like about the space, that we're all connected in a sense, in a really positive way, and that we can really lift each other up. It's that's what I really like. It's just really positive atmosphere.
Yeah, for sure. If anyone else wants to come up, talk, have a question, shill their projects or themselves, the floor is open. Just request to be a speaker, we'll bring you up. But in the meantime, do we have any topics we want to talk about?
Yeah, just wanted to mention, like, maybe some people don't know how to request how to come up, but if you're on the phone, there's a button on the bottom left corner where you can request to speak, and then we can accept your request, and then you can just share your story or whatever.
Yeah, and you can't request from desktop, so if you're listening on desktop, you can't. But we also have the Discord pinned at the top, so if you didn't want to talk but you had a question or a topic, you can join the Discord, ask it there. want to be open and and I was thinking like the person that was up here earlier that said they didn't even really know where to start, and I think it's really cool that if by this spaces we could even help one person, that's just our goal. It doesn't have to be a big crazy thing. We just want people to feel safe to come up and ask any questions, just hang out, even say hi. So I think X Domina is up here, so
hey guys. So
hey.
First of all, I want to thank all of you for loving my post. I saw all the cute little sloths coming up and liking me joining tonight. So I super appreciate that. You guys are adorable.
So that's Iris. Iris is the sloth queen. So she actually made my profile picture, the duck hoodie and the NF Queens logo, and Cheetahs as well. So big props to Iris on that.
They're absolutely adorable. I just have to tell you.
Yeah, thank you so much. We call it the power of the snuggle because a group of sloths is called a snuggle. So, it's just perfect.
Wait, is that real?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, I love sloths even more now. It's adorable. So thank you guys for holding this. I think that any spaces that are holding, women as the front runners are probably going to win here. We don't get a lot of recognition, so I appreciate you guys so much for that.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the goal. All of us have some, platform where that we're kind of making that the goal. So, and I, when I started the podcast, I felt like I needed to give a disclaimer, like this is not bashing towards men in any way. We know that there's so many supporters and allies out there, but it's just more focusing, giving women the platform and the chance to tell their story and tell their pretty much anything they want to tell, their tips and tricks and stuff. So I know we have a couple men in here that are awesome supporters, so thank you. But yeah, I think it's awesome connecting with other women in this space, because it's sometimes hard to find others.
No, I totally agree. And I've had probably the best experience up until recently with men in this space. And it's interesting because I am actually a boudoir photographer. So I happen to post, a little bit more risque photos. And I've gotten nothing but love and respect from men in here, which I think is very interesting. And I'm super appreciative of that. But recently I found a whole group of women who are super supportive of other women in this space. And, I'm so happy that we're all coming up with this pretty new. Because I think we can all boost each other up together. And then, once the majority of the other billions of people pop in, we'll kind of be the OGs of it. But we're kind of starting this from scratch. And I think we're doing it together, which is really nice.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for coming up and sharing that with us. It's really interesting. And yeah, I think it's also just nice to find other women here. And just what Kduck said, if any men want to come up and say something, they're free to do that as well. We're not exclusively for women, but it is nice to to have this space where we can find each other and share our stories.
So I actually am I'm coming out with a collection soon, which is really kind of intimidating in the space. But I will be launching on 12/10, and it's called Dangerous Curves. But again, I'm a boudoir photographer, so I'm kind of taking the woman form and creating some sort of, abstract form of it. I'm making it as artsy as possible, and it's getting a lot of love so far. I'm super excited about it. I can't wait to actually launch it. But I'm also in the process of doing a podcast soon, and that's going to be with my husband. He's super knowledgeable with the NFT and crypto space. I'm kind of the newbie. I'm also a woman, so I'll be kind of representing all of our women and newbie family, asking the questions, asking to break it down, interviewing other women artists and things like that. So I'm so excited to meet all of you guys because I would love the chance to interview you guys and see where this goes.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's awesome. Like I said earlier, the more the merrier. I think there's such a need for content, and not only content, just good quality content. I think especially lately, this space has been filled with a lot of FUD, a lot of naysayers. So it's definitely like you said, when the other millions of people out there learn what an NFT is and they want to join, these resources will be there. And, that's kind of the goal, at least for me at the moment with this podcast. So that's very cool.
Yeah, for sure. I think maybe Genie Boy wants to say something.
Hey guys, how's it going?
What's up, Genie?
Oh, nothing much. Just enjoying my lunch break and enjoying you guys' content. It's been a nice spaces so far, and I love the warm feels going around. This is great. And I just had a question as well. Like, obviously, if you can't tell by my husky voice and my name, I am a dude. So how can men in the space be better allies and be more inviting and to help lift up the women in the space? Because in our own group we've got a few women, and I love connecting with you guys. You guys are very smart. I've listened to all your pods, and I just want to know, like, how can we help, basically?
I think that's, first of all, you coming up asking the question, that's very cool. That's a very good start. Awareness that there is a divide and there is a difference. But I think I can't speak for everyone, but I think for me, and I haven't had any negative experiences, but I just want to be just treated like everyone else. So it's just just that aspect for me is really what I look for. And like I said, I've had no negative experiences, but maybe just highlighting those women artists, those when you see them. I have had artists tell me that retweets, a like can go such a long way for them. So just helping spread awareness and keeping the positive vibes. I think that's what I would say. Iris, Cheetah, you have anything?
I would totally agree. Just treating us not any different. Just treating us like a normal person, really. That's all I really had to say. It was basically all what Kduck had to explain as well. I don't know if Iris has anything to add.
Yeah, Cheetah does have a name, so you can call her Cheetah.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, guys. Awesome. Like, definitely love all the stuff that you guys are doing. I think it's really important, and if you're to push our whole space, this great NFT space together, you can't be separating its parts. This isn't going to succeed as a male-only industry. Like, look at the world. Some of the biggest businesses, some of the biggest artists, some of the biggest things, they're from people of all walks of life. So it's something that I think we all need to focus on and promote.
Yeah, for sure. I think, well, to be honest, I did have some negative experiences in the space because I'm a woman. At some point, people started doubting the fact whether my project was really woman-led, which is how we advertise it, how it says it everywhere, because my boyfriend is involved with the project. And for me, it's just bizarre because there are so many projects that are maybe led by a man, but there are women in the team. But people would never doubt, oh, is it really led by a man, or is it actually the woman behind the scenes that's doing everything? But when it's woman-led and there's men behind the scenes helping them out, people for some reason question whether it's really woman-led, and that's just yeah, strange. And like, I don't know, like something specific that people can do to help, but maybe just, yeah, like to be aware of the fact that some people maybe do have even some kind of subconscious prejudice still. Like, I don't know, maybe some people are not even aware of it, maybe they're not doing it on purpose, and it's just hard also to speak about this. Yeah, because I don't want to accuse anyone, because I've received so much support from men in the space as well, who pointed these things out to other men, you know, like, why are you saying that? So yeah, I think just creating this awareness of yeah, the fact that there is, you know, we are the same, but we're not always treated the same. I think it is important to be aware of that.
Well, I do have another question for Iris. So, what are you looking to do with your project from now going forward? Like, what do you find you're going to add in the future for it?
Yeah, so some of the goals I've had from the start with this project was really to, you know, help sloths and help protect wildlife habitat. And this is a passion that I already had before entering the NFT space. And when I came here, I realized that, you know, if I make my project a success, I can have so much real world impact. And yeah, just that drives me, and seeing my community, it drives me to keep working for those goals every day. And I'm working on the art right now for our second mint, which will have some, you know, benefits for our OG holders. And we want to, you know, gamify, do something with games, many things actually, but those things are kind of more further on the horizon. And we want to make sloth plushies at some point. And yeah, I'm just really excited, because I feel like, yeah, I think I already mentioned this, but I feel like the sloths themselves, the arts, the personalities, I hear so many people say that they relate to their sloth, they think they're cute, they once they have one, they, you know, have some kind of affinity to them. And yeah, I think that that's what will create a really strong community. And we have so many new people buy in as well. Like, we are so many new people's first project, and you know, our community is really welcoming. We're you know, happy to teach anyone the ropes. And yeah, that's just what I want to continue to do, and also to help others. It's something that I don't see highlighted that much yet in the space, is also to include more people from non-Western countries, because it's like really centered in Europe and United States. And, you know, crypto has the same value everywhere in the world. So imagine the kind of impact it would have in developing countries if they could, you know, make money in this space. It could, you know, literally, you know, change their lives, but also that of those around them. And that's something I also really want to do in the long term. And, you know, in order to do those things, I want to lift my community up, make the project successful. And yeah, that's what I work for every day. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's crazy if you really sit down and think about the real world implications that this space can have. You know, so many projects are donating to charities, which is awesome. So many projects are working on, you know, in real life benefits that like you said, can be life changing. And you know, what's very cool is that it's, you know, this space and even the metaverse, it's accessible to so many people. And, you know, maybe not, you know, the meta, like the central land and stuff like that now, if you don't have like a, you know, a system to run it on. But as far as, you know, trading crypto, you can invest from your phone, you can invest from anything. So I think that that's going to be a major key, is bringing this to the masses. Like you said, people that are not in the Western countries, you know, people that normally might not have an opportunity like this. The metaverse is going to be huge for that type of thing.
Yeah, for sure. And I just thought of like a real world thing, that impact that we just had. We adopted some sloths from this foundation, and yesterday one of our members shared a news article that this foundation was now building like constructions above roads in Costa Rica, so the sloths can use that instead of having to cross the road, because a lot of sloths get killed apparently when they cross the roads. So it's just cool to even be able to contribute to those, things. That's on top of everything else that's cool about this space. That's just so amazing.
Yeah, it's really exciting to see the whole metaverse like coming to life and what all these NFT projects are producing and creating. Especially seeing like the whole thing with Facebook changing their brand to Meta is just so huge for the space. I like just thinking about it, like soon they even released like a glove that you can feel the pressure and like I forgot what else they added, the pressure and then just like what something would feel like with their VR. So they had like this glove on them and they could literally do a arm wrestle with someone in the VR and they could like feel it. It's so crazy to think about, and like soon in like 20-30 years we're gonna be like even more advanced into this, and NFTs are just the start.
Yeah, for sure. I think we've been talking for a really long time already, and that's completely okay. But I think just want to see if anybody wants to still share something, and you can request to come up or just speak out now if you still have something to say. But otherwise, we'll just wrap up in a few minutes.
I don't mind saying one last thing, if I may. Someone, I think it was Cheetah earlier, you were saying like, this was something you're doing outside of your regular 9-to-5 job. And this is definitely outside of my 24/7 job. I'm basically on call anytime. So, I have kind of a typical day, but I get pretty exhausted, and this space moves really, really fast. And, even just missing like a day or two, not being able to check on the Discords or whatever, it just feels like you miss so much, of the community news, and just kind of like staying up on projects and new information on projects and all that kind of stuff, any whitelist information. So it can get really tricky. But I just kind of wanted to put this out there because I feel like it's really easy to get lost in this world when you jump on your computer or you're jumping on your phone or you're just trying to escape from your regular 9-to-5 or your regular, in real life. But there is unfortunately still this huge situation of a pandemic happening across the world. And there's a lot of stuff that's not being talked about in the media and everything. And so I feel like, yes, we're building this really amazing artist community and scientifically technology and like the investment side, like there's so many different areas that this is touching. But I feel like with great power comes great responsibility. And, once we get to a certain status, I really hope that all of you in this space here listening right now can kind of like hold on to that and just try and keep the aspect of this being community driven. Yes, it's great to have those really big wins, but at the same time, like there's a lot of people still suffering right now. There's still a lot of people having a really hard time right now. And they're trying to jump into this space without money, without having an idea of how to handle themselves. And they need help. So even if they don't know they need help, they probably need some help. So, if you see anyone or, anything like that, like they're talking about projects and they just don't seem to be connecting dots in a way that's coming out, like, I don't think there's anything wrong with just letting them know, hey, there are people here who want to see you succeed. So however we can help to do that, let's try and do that. Because there's just so many people, there's so many scams going on, so many things that can just really mess things up for you in a blink of an eye with this. So protect yourself, do your research, talk to people, ask questions, don't feel like being an idiot. Like, we're all idiots here. We're all like paving the way here. So,
I say just one last thing as well. I heard you guys talking about people looking for like devs, and if you're not an artist yourself, or people that should be involved in projects. Like, my DMs are open. If you can't find me, Kduck knows a lot of people in the space as well, or she can direct to me as well. So feel free to reach out. My DMs will be open to everyone.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Jeannie. Yeah, definitely. Really appreciate that. I think Mar had something to say.
Oh yeah, no, I was just mentioning how just agreeing with, like, I feel like the space just moves so fast. I'll finish like really studying a project, and then next thing I know there's like another project on the radar. But I will say Cheetah NFT Llamas is an amazing group. Their Llamas is just awesome. If you guys don't know about them, you should check them out. They're just all around, just have great content, very helpful. Just their Discord is amazing. I am gonna take a second here to look at the Sloths as well. Yeah, this is the first, I feel like, web or chat room that I've been in where it's not moving at like 100 miles an hour, and I'm actually getting a chance to like listen to people. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, anything, join our Discord. We're always here. We hope to have more of these planned, and just keep bringing open combos and open forums for people to just chat like we are right now. So it's basically the goal, just help people out and have fun while we're doing it. That's all I ever want to do, at least. So yeah,
if I could get
thanks
one of you to
by.
just send me the Discord link, I'd appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure.
Great.
I will.
Thank you.
Well, I think unless anyone else has a comment or question, I think we'll wrap it up for this one. Thanks everyone for joining us for our first official Web3Women chat. We have the Discord pinned at the top, as well as DM me if you want the Discord link or you have any questions, any of us really. So we hope to bring these chats to you more, and just help keep the conversation going. Be friendly, be open and inviting. I think everyone that's here now, it definitely is, and so really appreciate that. But let's keep it going and extend it out, and get more people in. That's the goal of all of us, right? So yeah, thanks again for stopping by. It was great chatting with you all.
Yes, thank you all so much for being here. I really enjoyed it. And just one thing I wanted to add is that the tweet that is linked up here, that's also our new Twitter account, and we will probably be hosting these there in the future. So if you follow that account, then you'll be updated on all the next Twitter spaces that we'll have. And yeah, just wish everybody a good night, and thank you so much for being here.
Peace out.
Thanks, ladies.